Good night. So this will be a microscopic examination of 4 slides. I've taken the mixture from yesterday, from the previously almost burned crucible, because it was almost half of it was just charcoals and the rest was just toilet paper soaked with oil and no liquid at all. So I took all the toilet paper and just divided it between 3 crucibles, 1 black and 2 red and black, of the same size, and added all sorts of material, mostly oil, frozen wax from the freezer, and a little bit of other stuff, the normal stuff. Of course, it tremendously, and also water and salt water. This, of course, tremendously increased the volume, even though it's still very hard because of all the the heating. I should add even more salt water to this container, because it was very difficult now to get results, because it's so solid. So initially, I started with the Nero symbols, because I thought, okay, now we need to add more Neros because it was diluted. I also added 2 spoons of the mixture from the day before that I used as a spare, but not to the black one, so it will become like a reference. So initially I used the Nero symbols, and then I added these kind of like nice life forms. Very nice. Like 4 of these, as you see. And if all is well from the Nero perspective, we will now do the same. Again, add oil, add water and salt water, but now with the magnification arc. Because we have not worked with the magnification arc. So, even though we have the grid, which is kind of like a magnification arc, but I'm not sure it's like, that it's, for experience, you need to add we've seen from yesterday that only when you add the true, magnification arc, you get good results. But since it's a diluted mixture, it was important for me to start with, without magnification arc. Also, I'm taking a sample from this container that is mostly very salty, with a lot of salt, to see it just stood there for a couple of days just to see how the Nero survived in such a salty environment, because it's of interest to us, if you remember. Also, I should say that I don't use the 3 crucibles, small crucibles, because they are too small and always they're made. It's a problem. So I use this bigger one, and also the one with the alcohol. But mostly this one is doing the heavy lifting, but this one is helping. So we have 4 slides. Let's take a look. Whenever I open the window, just to breathe some air, to make because it doesn't smell that good, but I just opened the window like yesterday, and even worse, the coughing. So that's why, I decided, yesterday I told you, if this continues, we'll revert to the old school hostel Andre, methods, and of course it continues, and even with panache, I would say. So we will listen to this classic, and maybe later other classic, like Athena, if you remember, and Vulcan. Classics that like remixes that I've done in the past, because I also work in a DJ, among my many professions. God is a DJ, why they say God is a DJ, because he spins, plates. You know what spinning plate is? No, not that kind of plate spinning. Spins the plates that God spins are the stars. Also the asteroids, all sort of stuff. Sometimes the spin change a little bit, but God is he has good intuition and work very well with the equipment. So sometimes it's very easy. He also unlike me, he has done not just in P1 and 2, but also 3 and 4 and 5 and 6. So, like calculus up to 6. It's calculus 601. So, no problem with orbital mechanics. And I sense it's going to be important. הלשון הזאת תזכה למנוחה. נשבענו לכם. הלשון של ההומו ספיינסים תזכה... אני אוכל לפתוח חלון, לנשום אוויר, בלי שהשיעולים האלה של השכנים ילוו אותי בלי הפסקה. זה כבר שנים בכל דירה, וזה מתועד היטב, וזה לא נגמר, וזה ממשיך. והפה פתוח והלשון בתנועה. ואנחנו אמרנו לכם, הנציג שלנו והבנות שלו, והאמא שלהם יזכו לנשום על כדור הארץ, בלי שהשכנים ירדפו אותם כמו טורפי אדם וכמו פסיכופטים, שזה מה שהם. מה שצריך בשביל זה לקרות יקרה. לא בפח, אנחנו לא נוגעים בפח, לא. לא באנו לעשות כלום לישראל, מדינת ישראל, ארץ ישראל, איך שלא תרצו לקרוא לזה, מטרתנו הינה ישראל. כדור הארץ, 8 מיליארד בפח. אבל אני, הנציג שלהם, הנציג של הקרובים, אני אוכל לפתוח את החלון בלי שיעולים. כמה שצריך בפח, יהיו בפח. לא בפח שלכם. בכל הכדור. כל הכדור זורקים אותו לפח. כל הכדור. לא בפח הזבל שלכם, לא. את הפח ניקינו בשנות ה-80. אתם מילאתם אותו בזבל עוד פעם. לא מנקים לכם את הפח עוד פעם. הפעם מנקים את הכדור. כולו. 8 מיליארד בפח הזבל. הנציג שלנו יוכל לפתוח חלון בלי שהשכנים יתעללו בו. אנחנו מבטיחים לכם. אנחנו כבר טיפלנו בלשונות של יצורים יותר מגעילים מכם מיליוני שנה לפני שאתם הייתם קיימים. כבר אז היו קיימים יצורים מגעילים אפילו יותר מכם, עם לשון, ואנחנו נתנו לה לנוח. אנחנו הוצאנו אותה לפנסיה. גם את הלשון שלכם נוציא לפנסיה, נעניק למנוחה. היא דרושה למנוחה, מגיעה למנוחה, והיא תזכה למנוחה. השבענו לכם, היא תזכה למנוחה. הלשון הזאת תזכה למנוחה. נכון? לשון עיקשת, אבל ראינו עיקשות מאלה, והיא תזכה למנוחה. היא תזכה למנוחה. לא תנוע לה ככה, לא תעבוד כל קשה עד אין סוף, תזכה למנוחה. הלשון הזאת תזכה, זכות תזכה למנוחה. זכות תזכה למנוחה. .64 magnification, slide stained with blue, methylene blue that becomes somewhat yellow because of the mixture. The left one might be a trend, difficult to say. You see some big Neros, some smaller Neros, not as much as I would have liked. Certainly, I mean, yeah, we see huge ones. This is 64 modification, so we see many huge ones. Maybe I would have wanted more of the smaller ones, so maybe. No, but we see smaller ones, just I mean they're drowned like that, you know, like in this ocean. Nice. Nice. It's a good mixture. I would have liked to see more smaller ones of all sizes. We saw tremendously large ones, which is good. Like many of them. Perhaps it was colored too generously, so might also be like a reason why it's difficult. Let's see, like slightly higher magnification. Too much stain, so it's a little bit of difficult to focus. $64. Too much material. So definitely nice Neros. Again, I would have liked to see more of the smaller ones. Maybe we'll do another kind of like additional lightning aimed at producing, you know, more of the smaller ones. Nice. Healthy amount of Neros of the bigger sizes, not that much of the medium size, and we don't see train bacteria, even though, okay, we didn't put the magnification arc. We still have some way to go. Okay, this is one. So the other, maybe we'll do it quickly, like, because, you know, it's like 4 slides. This one is from the second red crucible. This one was also stained maybe too generously. Maybe too generously stained. Staining is used by the neighbors and people like in the street, they stain you for, to be target for the Air Force. So here we see tremendous amount of smaller Neros actually. Maybe just, the other one was soaked, so it was difficult to see the smaller ones, because here we see tremendous amount. And for some reason, the metal in blue, became kind of like green with, whatever it was in this specific. So you see, tremendous amount. So maybe we'll actually switch to, directly to the trained bacteria, because you also see the trained bacteria forming here, you see? Very nice one actually, huge, not a huge, big one. This is 64, this is 150. This is 150. But this is definitely trained bacteria. So, we are good. Like, we are in the way, we are in the way, but let's now add, the magnification arc. Because I see good Neros, yeah. Not just big ones, but also very, hefty amount of smaller ones. This one is lovely. Let's get it back to 64 to see, wider range. Wow, nice. This was definitely a train, which means yeah, we are good. But we need so maybe I'll skip the smaller maybe we are good at the way that we are with regards to Nero. This is nice. Just a second. Nice. Let's zoom in here. Nice. Not the richest of all mixture, but again, since I'm taking into account that so much was just either burned or stayed like, in the lower level of the crucible, that it was just too much burnt material, and also in the half that was left, about it was diluted like to 3 crucibles, like triple the amount. But it's important. We want we want one of the objectives is to produce like big amount of Neros, like so we'll have like at least one new like big containers for the ecosystem. That's way to kind of like to rebuild the fleet, so we'll be able to burn the stuff and activate the bicycle even stronger, so everybody can enjoy the the cuffing and all the nice things that we are subjected to. We want everybody of the family, the ET Eaters family, to to enjoy what the things that we are going through for so many years. By the way, that's how maybe now you understand why I said many times that regularly the containers that I use, I said that they contain both Neros and life forms. So if I want just the Neros, I need to sterilize it, but there are also ways to do it. It's not that difficult. And the reason is because that's how I created, the big containers that I had, before, when I was in the hostel. Usually you do all sorts of experiments that almost always, there is some kind of, life form component to the experiment and a Nero component to the experiment. And then, I mean, you take whatever, the things that you don't need, and you put it like, in a big containers for storage or for what I call the ecosystem password. It's not exactly storage because you don't want them to multiply, and it's not just storage. I mean, it's like long-term, I would say, experiments without an energy source, besides the germs themselves that are inside the mixer. But I mean, because of that, I mean, by default, like, then I mean, we have like eventually after like 1 month or 2 months, you have like huge containers full of like tremendous amount of Neros, but also full of life forms of all sorts. So if you want it, but usually you don't mind. But like if you want to burn it, I mean, to burn the mixture, I mean, for the bicycle effect and to get rid of it, you burn it with the life forms. I mean, whatever. Also, as I said, life forms are fine for the Neros. I mean, they eat it and grow it. I mean, it's good for them to multiply with their life forms. Nice. Shiny. את המטוע, זוכרים את המטוע? Shiny. Tremendous amount of Nero. So you're good. I mean, Nero-wise, you're good, I would say. Like, I don't see the reason to not continue with, with the train. But this time with, the modification. These aren't trains, it's just like all sort of like, disgusting little things. They are not like, the noble animal that is a train. Nice. So I like this mixture, I mean, because of the Neros that we have tremendous amount and all sorts of sizes. Very nice. Okay, now let's take a look at the one that was in the black container. This one. This is, I mean, I didn't add like nothing, from the older mixture to this one. To see if it's got like any difference. Although some of it was spilled, even though I have done my best not to spill, but it's spilled, mostly it spills when you add water. Because of the lower, boiling temperatures, and I mean, but you need to add water, otherwise, everything burns. So, it's cooking. It's like a cooking expertise. It's not like sous vide, that you just give it parameters. You need to be like, to mess around all the time. Like you also need to switch like, the places like of the things of the various containers on the grill. Like to dance to do like dance of dragons, because otherwise, I mean, like to make sure they all get hot enough but not too hot. It's like MasterChef solar system tournament. This one was stained both with blue and a little bit of red. I hope you like the Three Sister Fairy Tale. I mean, if you want, we can stop and continue later with something else, and maybe continue with the Game of Thrones, or because you have so many things like the robots that you didn't finish. This looks like Mars because of the, because of the, the mixture of the color. Okay, 64 magnification. There's too many colors, but I mean, yes, we see Neros, definitely. Quite a bit. Like huge ones. The smaller ones are kind of like hiding, but they are there. Maybe a place with like a little bit less color will allow us to Women should have understood that the age of slavery is gone. And instead, we just see that they continue with the slavery, the subjugation. Innocent human beings, citizens of the state, are prosecuted by their neighbors wherever they go, target of the Shabak all their life. Endless persecution and terror and pain. Okay, I mean, less than the other one, but the other two, but it makes sense because of the mixture that was, I mean, that was not, mixed with the, like with the remnants of like the previous container, even though it should be said that the remnants, these remnants, I mean, were just, 2 spoons, like spoon on each, container, so most of what you see is actually something that was grown now. Okay. In any case, I will In any case, I'll do another lighting with the Nero, like with the Nero's symbology. Although I already prepared, the grill, the trains on the grill. So it will be both. Let's do both. Let's do both together. We'll do both. Now this one is, I didn't cover it because it's so much salt. It's taken from the salt container that left, just, resting on the table for like 2 days or so. Since it's so dense, the salt you cannot cover it. So let's take a look without a cover, see something interesting. Just a second. Mostly we see many Neros. I'll just split it, to the other 3 containers that we work with because I kind of like to minimize, my containers now just to avoid too much trash. So I'll just take the content of this thing and throw it to the other 3. And maybe add like a little bit of spoons from the previous, mixture to the black one. Because you see that